in this one, and we discussed with both the chairs, and we decided to go with the second session as the first one and start with the Dream Innovation Ecosystem. And I request Aldas Jannaiah, who is the University Head for Agribusiness Management, and who has done an extensive research on socio-economic and policy issues related to technological developments, adoption, and its impacts in South Asia and Southeast Asia. And I'm sure he will also throw some light on this World Agricultural Forum, which he is facilitating and also chairing. Maybe it's a forum, you can also announce that one if that's relevant, or maybe it's too early, I don't know, but he is doing that one. First time I met with him, he is very, very experienced. I'm sure we can't have a better person for this particular session. Thank you, sir, and now the floor is yours.
Good morning to everybody. Good morning to everybody. Thank you, Dilip, for introducing me very briefly. I don't want to take much time in elaborating my opening remarks or even giving the much background in view of the time. This session, main speaker and the key speaker is Dr. Wani. I think he's a state research director working in KSIConnect for last more than 3 decades, working on water issues. And as Dilip was mentioning, I think probably I will mention about this upcoming event, this global event that is going to come, that is going to happen in Hyderabad in November, maybe at the end of the session, maybe closing remarks. I think at this point of time, I will only confine to this particular topic for which Dr. Wani is going to give a lead presentation. But before that, I think about science and technology and innovation. I have just a couple of remarks. Probably most of the seniors like Dr. Goswami and others may be knowing the glory of the science and technology policy began. Probably, I don't know how it was, Mr. Professor C. Aldas would have been here, who was one of the architects of the modern science and technology policy of this country. When he was the member planning commission in charge for science and technology. He is basically an economist, but he was the member planning commission in charge for science and technology in 75 when during the period of the Mrs. Gandhi. And our science and technology policy goes back to really almost 5 decades. And the great vision of the first Prime Minister of this country and the modern architect of this country's development, Jawaharlal Nehru, visualized the need for science and technology way back in the late 50s itself. Then since then, we are giving too much emphasis for science and technology, and as a result of this early science and technology policy, the IITs, Indian Institute of Technology, SEVCOM, the Indian Institute of Management, Indian Institute of Science, likewise several universities. Today we have 645 universities and even more than 40 national institutions, and now we have 20 IITs. So likewise the expansion is taking place. But the impact of these technologies during the early period was really visible and made significant contribution to the development of this country. It is basically science-driven policies. And coming to agricultural research, of course, we know the very past glory in 1960s particularly was a golden period for agricultural research in this country. As a result of that, they achieved the green revolution and become a role model for the rest of the world also. But only the problem that really started only after mid-80s and since late 90s, somehow the impact was started coming down in all fields, not only in agricultural research but also medical research. You take the defense research in all aspects except space research, where India made significant contribution, but in other fields the impact was coming down as compared to the other countries, as Don was mentioning, US and China. But if you see, the Indian agricultural research was more stronger than China in 1960s. You see the FAO report on agricultural research and education. So some of these changes in Indian context was due to several reasons, not only investment. Of course, investment is one reason, but other reasons are there. Earlier, most of the science and technology policies, that's what Professor Rao used to tell when he was a member planning commission. Development priorities has to be we used to convert them into a policy objectives, but now there are a lot of issues to be incorporated, like private-public partnership, international pressures sometimes, not only advices. So all these things are really diluted the policies after that, and it's not only investment but also the direction of the policies. The focus of the policies was not really in order the way it was earlier. Earlier, there were very focused group used to involve in the policies. Now, most of the people are involving internally, externally, and getting confused sometimes. So there are several reasons for that. So anyway, I think these are all few remarks I would like to mention before Mr. Wani speaks. But the point is, India has a great glory of the science and technology, and it has a lot of potential. And even National Commission, NK, what we call National Knowledge Mission, under chairmanship of the Chamber Trudeau, very clearly brought out India needs 1,500 world-class universities. Maybe private or public doesn't matter, but we need it. We have only 645 universities. So we need more universities, more institutions, because future development is science-driven, knowledge-oriented, technology-oriented. So therefore, whether it is coming from private or public doesn't matter, as long as it is leading to the development. So from that perspective, I think this initiative, Science, Technology, Innovation Policy of 2013, initiated by the Department of Science and Technology, definitely will contribute towards this objective. With these remarks, I request Dr. Wani to make a brief presentation.